This is Plant-Based Briefing. So you think dissection is great for education? Think again. By the Society for Humane Science at forhumanescience.org. And I'm Marian Erickson, and this is the curated content plant-based podcast, where I narrate a variety of articles on plant-based, vegan, and eco-friendly living, with permission in about 10 minutes or less every weekday. Today's post is from the Society for Humane Science, which is a Canadian nonprofit working to promote better science without animals. Their mission is to build an ethical culture of science that respects animal life by promoting the reduction and replacement of animals in teaching, research, and testing. I first heard the co-founder of Society for Humane Science, Dr. Elizabeth Ormandy, when she was on the Animal Voices Vancouver podcast, and she was discussing animals being used in high school biology class, and that brought back such awful memories for me. So today's post will hopefully help others make changes in their own school districts, so animals won't be used for dissection when there are much better alternatives available. Keep in mind that the animal dissection industry is a big money, powerful industry, though, so the advocacy tools that Society for Humane Science provides are really helpful to make change. So now let's get to today's plant-based briefing. So you think dissection is great for education? Think again. By the Society for Humane Science at forhumanescience.org. In North America, there's a widely held assumption that animal dissection is the best way to learn about anatomy and body systems, despite the availability of a wide array of non-animal teaching methods, for example, virtual anatomy tools. That's a big reason why dissection remains common practice in our schools and universities. In fact, in our 2017 survey of British Columbia science teachers, we discovered that 79% of teachers still do dissection with their students. But have you ever wondered whether this assumption is true? As scientists, we wanted to put the assumption that dissection is great for science education to the test, so we did what's called a systematic review. A systematic review is a rigorous, methodical, and transparent way of doing a search for literature that can help you answer a specific research question. Our research question was, what is the educational effectiveness of non-animal teaching methods compared to dissection? In our systematic review, we searched for original research papers that directly compared how well students performed in their course evaluations when they had used either non-animal teaching methods versus animal dissection. Here's what we found. Our results show that in 91% of studies, 31 of 34, students do just as well, and in many of those cases, 20 of 31, better, when they use non-animal teaching methods compared to dissection. These results are also similar to other findings. Whoa! It turns out that the assumption that dissection is a great educational practice is not true. So what does this mean? Dissection should start being phased out immediately. The internationally accepted 3 R's principles, replacement, reduction, and refinement, guide the ethical use of animals in science, including science education. In particular, the principle replacement tells us that if we can achieve our scientific or educational goals without using animals, then there is an ethical obligation to use non-animal methods. Our systematic review results show compelling evidence in favor of replacement. Students are able to use non-animal methods to meet their learning goals, so the principle of replacement dictates that non-animal methods must be used. What does this all mean for teachers and students? For teachers, there are many high-quality, cost-effective non-animal teaching methods you can use instead of using real animal specimens for dissection. We get it. It can feel daunting to let go of old practices and learn new ones, so we're here to help you make the switch to non-animal methods. We have comprehensive humane science education subscription packages with downloadable unit and lesson plans, student workbooks, recorded classes, recorded tutorials, and links to book teacher training sessions and guest classes for your students. We are here to help, so please get in touch to see how you can become a humane science educator. For students, if you are in one of 6 school districts in Canada linked here, there is a student choice policy, so your teachers should give you advance notice of an upcoming dissection and the free choice between taking part or using non-animal teaching methods. If you didn't know about the policy in your district, then you can hold your teachers accountable for implementing it. They should know about it and should have told you. If you are a student of the Catholic School Board in Windsor, Essex, Ontario, then the school board has made a decision to phase out dissection completely by 2022. Feel free to hold them accountable to that decision. If you don't go to school in one of those districts, but would like to ask your school board to introduce a student choice policy in dissection, we have Advocacy Toolkits to help you get started. The toolkit includes a template letter to the school board, a template school petition, an information pack to give to school board members, and a slide deck for a 5-minute presentation to make the case for a student choice policy. We also have French translations if you need them. Together, we can put an end to the unnecessary practice of dissection and help bring science education into the 21st century. Will you join us? You can get involved by either becoming a Humane Science ambassador in your school or by contributing as a Society for Humane Science newsletter subscriber, volunteer, member, or donor. You just listened to So You Think Dissection is Great for Education? Think Again, by the Society for Humane Science at forhumanescience.org. And if you know any students or parents who would like to advocate for animals and for better educational methods, do check out their advocacy toolkits and teacher toolkits. They're linked in the original post in the show notes. And one thing I found interesting in the toolkit was that the cost of dissection is significantly more than the cost of alternative methods. For a class of 24 students and using one animal per every 2 students, the dissection costs range from $144 to $480 per class, and that's a recurring annual cost. For alternative non-animal methods, the cost ranges from $50 to $122 per class, and that assumes 1 app per student, and there's no recurring cost, it's a one-time cost. So I'm your host, Marian Erickson, and please share this episode with any students, parents, or teachers who might benefit, and thanks for listening.